How to communicate better. Effective communication is at the heart of every successful relationship and goal. Whether you're talking with friends, studying in class, or chatting online, the way we communicate can make all the difference. When communication works well, people feel understood and problems get solved. But when communication breaks down, even simple situations can become confusing or hurtful. In this 24-minute audio journey, we will explore practical ways to connect better with others through our words, tone, and body language. Each chapter will focus on one key skill: listening with intent, using positive body language, understanding others' feelings, speaking clearly, and finding your confident voice. Along the way, I'll share real stories and simple tips you can use every day. The tone here is motivational. This isn't a lecture, but a friendly guide to help you unlock the power of clear, positive communication. Remember, communication is a skill you can learn. No one is born a perfect communicator, but anyone can improve with practice and patience. By the end of this script, you'll have practical advice and encouragement to speak up, listen deeply, and truly connect with those around you. Chapter 1. Listen to understand. Imagine talking with a friend who had a really bad day. They're upset about a low grade or an argument with someone, and they start venting. Instead of immediately sharing your own stories or jumping in with advice, what if you simply listened? Active listening means giving that friend your full attention and really hearing what they're saying. When my friend had a rough day after failing a math test, I made it a point to listen. I turned off the TV, put my phone aside, and faced him. I said, "You seem really frustrated about that grade. Do you want to talk about it?" I let him speak without interrupting. Later, I reflected back, "It sounds like you worked hard and felt really disappointed by that test." My friend told me later that just having someone listen without immediately fixing the problem made him feel understood and less alone. Active listening is about setting aside distractions. When we listen well, we notice not just the words but also the emotions behind them. Sometimes you'll hear tension or sadness in someone's voice. Show you're engaged by nodding, making eye contact, and giving small verbal cues like "I see" or "Tell me more." If you're tempted to interrupt, pause and remind yourself to stay curious about the speaker. You don't always have to respond with solutions. Often the speaker simply wants to vent or share. Be mindful of your thoughts too. If your mind starts wandering or you begin planning what to say next, gently bring your focus back to the speaker. A good trick is to mentally summarize what they've said so far. For example, "So you felt upset when that happened, is that right?" This helps show you care about their feelings and actually understand them. Another part of listening is asking good questions. Questions show interest and help clarify. After someone explains something, you might ask, "What happened next?" Or, "How did that make you feel?" This encourages them to open up more and shows that you truly want to understand. By listening without judgment, you build trust. People are more likely to share their thoughts with someone who listens. You might be surprised how often a person simply needs to feel heard. As you practice, you'll notice your relationships improving. Friends will thank you for your support, teachers will be more willing to help, and even family conversations can become more open. Next time someone speaks to you, try to resist the urge to interrupt or turn the conversation back to yourself. Let them have the floor first, and then respond thoughtfully. Listening well is one of the most powerful ways to communicate better, and it makes others feel respected and valued. Chapter 2. Watch your body language. Communication isn't only about words. Your body sends messages too. Body language includes your posture, facial expressions, gestures, and eye contact. Sometimes our bodies speak louder than our mouths. Imagine walking into a room with your shoulders hunched and eyes on the floor. That closed posture can signal to others that you're nervous or not interested. Now imagine walking in with your head up, shoulders back, and a friendly smile. You instantly look more confident and open, which invites others to engage with you. Think of a real-world example, a job interview. Even if you're feeling anxious, try to sit up straight, give a firm handshake, and maintain gentle eye contact with the interviewer. These signals say, "I'm confident and ready to talk." On the other hand, If you avoid looking at the interviewer or fidget in your seat, they might think you're unsure or not paying attention. I remember a friend who had a second chance at an interview. The first time, he sat slouched and fiddled with his pen. The second time, he sat up straight and smiled. The interviewer responded positively, and he got the job. Your facial expression matters too. A warm smile can ease tension when you start a conversation. If you're saying something positive, smile and show it. If you're listening, a concerned or interested expression shows you care. Avoid rolling your eyes, crossing your arms defensively, or looking away while someone is speaking. These gestures can make others feel like you're not on their side. Eye contact is another key signal. It shows you're paying attention. When someone talks, look at their eyes or forehead to show interest. You don't have to stare constantly, but try to maintain eye contact most of the time. If you glance away too much, the speaker might feel like you want the conversation to end. Balanced eye contact makes communication feel personal and respectful. Your hands and arms also speak. Use them to gesture naturally and emphasize points, but keep movements calm. For example, when praising someone, a gentle nod or a thumbs up can reinforce your words. But if you wave your arms wildly or point fingers too much, it might distract from what you're saying. Also, avoid fidgeting. Tapping fingers or shaking your leg can signal nervousness. Instead, you can clasp your hands calmly or place them in your lap. If you're feeling tense, take a slow, deep breath or shake out your hands to relax before you continue. Posture is surprisingly powerful. Standing or sitting up straight doesn't just make you look confident, it actually helps you feel more confident inside. Try practicing in front of a mirror. Notice if you lean forward to show interest, or if you hunch over. Making small adjustments, like uncrossing your arms or aligning your shoulders, can instantly change the mood of a conversation. A powerful example of body language is how people greet each other. Think of the last time you were happy to see a friend. You probably smiled and maybe hugged them or gave a friendly wave. That immediate gesture sets a positive tone for the whole interaction. Contrast that with walking by someone and barely acknowledging them. The connection feels very different. Each kind gesture or open stance plants seeds of friendliness. In summary, pay attention to the nonverbal signals you send. Stand or sit tall, use a friendly tone of voice, and let your body show that you are interested and confident. When your body and words match, like saying, "I'm excited about this project," with a big smile, others will believe you and feel excited too. If your body contradicts your words, like saying, "I agree," but shaking your head no, people will feel confused. So align your posture, expressions, and gestures with what you say. This makes your communication much more powerful. Chapter 3. Empathy. Walk in their shoes. Empathy means understanding and sharing the feelings of another person. It's like stepping into their shoes and seeing things from their perspective. When you show empathy, you let others know that you care about how they feel. This can make a huge difference in any conversation, especially during disagreements or emotional moments. For example, suppose a classmate is upset about not making the team. Instead of just saying, "You can try again next year," try empathizing. You could say, "I know you practiced so hard, and it's really tough to hear that news." That simple response acknowledges their feelings and shows that you understand. I remember when my younger sister was upset about losing a game, I told her, "I know it hurts to lose after practicing so much. I felt the same way when I lost my first match." She immediately calmed down and said it helped to hear that I understood her. Empathy also helps to calm things down when tensions rise. Imagine two friends arguing over a misunderstanding. If one of them says, "I see you're angry," I'd feel the same way if that happened to me. It acknowledges the emotion behind the words. Suddenly the argument shifts because both sides feel heard instead of attacked. One time, a group project was going badly because people weren't getting along. We each took turns expressing how we felt. By saying things like, "I understand this is frustrating," we cooled tempers and focused on finding solutions together. Listening, which we covered in Chapter 1, goes hand in hand with empathy. When you listen fully, you pick up on emotions and can respond kindly. If a friend sighs or seems upset, noticing that and saying, "You seem really down. Do you want to talk about it?" shows you care. You don't always have to fix the problem. Often your understanding presence is what matters most. To practice empathy, ask yourself questions like, how would I feel if I were in their situation? Or what might they be going through? Maybe someone snaps at you because they're worried about something else. Giving them the benefit of the doubt can change how you respond. For instance, if a classmate snaps and you see worry on their face, you might say, "Is everything okay? You seem upset." That response could reveal they were having a bad day, not angry with you. Also, try to accept others as they are. Everyone has their own background, struggles, and dreams. If someone believes something different from you, listen and try to understand why. You don't have to agree with them, but showing respect for their point of view is part of empathy. It might be as simple as saying, "I see where you're coming from," before sharing your own thoughts. In short, empathy is about connection. When you show someone that you truly care about their feelings, it opens the door to more honest and open conversation. People will feel closer to you and often more willing to listen in return. Empathy turns ordinary talk into something meaningful. Next time someone shares something emotional, pause and respond with understanding. You might be surprised at how powerful a few kind words can be. Chapter 4. Speak with clarity. Being understood is as important as understanding others. Speaking with clarity means organizing your thoughts, using simple words, and stating your ideas step by step. Think of clarity as being a light that guides your listener through what you're saying so they don't get lost or confused. Imagine you're explaining how to bake a cake to a younger sibling who's never done it before. If you say, "Preheat the oven, mix some ingredients, and bake," they might be uncertain about the details. But if you break it down, first, put butter and sugar in a bowl. Mix them until they're smooth. Next, add eggs and keep mixing. Then add flour. Finally, pour the batter into a pan and bake it for 30 minutes. It's much easier to follow. You see each step clearly. When speaking, keep your sentences short and focused. Long, winding sentences can lose people. If you have several points to make, pause between each one. For example, you could say, "First," then give your point, then "second," and "finally" for the last point. Teachers do this with lists or by saying, "To summarize," or "The main idea is." These signals help your listener follow along and catch the key idea. Also, check if your listener is following. Sometimes after explaining something, you can ask, "Does that make sense?" Or, "Do you see what I mean?" This invites them to ask questions if they are confused. You could say, "Let me know if I should explain a part again." This shows you care that they understand, not just that you finish talking. I do this when tutoring my cousin. After a complex example, I ask him if he's got it or wants another explanation. Avoid using technical jargon or complicated language, especially if the other person might not know the terms. If you do need to use a special term, briefly explain it in simple words. Think about how you'd explain a topic to someone who has no background in it. For example, instead of saying ecosystem, you could say all the plants and animals in a place and how they work together. Simple explanations ensure nobody is left behind. Another tip is to structure what you say. Before speaking, take a second to think, what's the main point I want to make? Then add examples or details. This gives your listener a clear path. For instance, if explaining a class project, you might say, "I want to talk about 3 things: the project goal, our plan, and the deadline." When people know what to expect, they can follow your ideas more easily. Even in casual conversation, clarity helps. If you're giving directions or instructions, be concrete. Instead of "go north, then east, then north again," say, "Turn left on Elm Street, then go straight for 2 blocks. My house is on the right." This way, everyone can follow along without confusion. Summarize your main point at the end if it's long. You could say, "So basically, the key idea is," this leaves no doubt about what you meant. Clear communication reduces misunderstandings and saves time. At school or work, being clear means fewer mistakes. At home, it means fewer arguments. Practice explaining things aloud. Maybe teach a friend or even your pet. The more you do it, the clearer you'll become. Remember, clarity is a gift you give to your listener. Chapter 5. Find your voice and confidence. Your voice is more than the words you say. It's how you say them. Tone, volume, and confidence shape every message. You might have great ideas, but if you mumble or stay quiet, people might miss out. On the other hand, speaking clearly and confidently makes others take notice and listen up. To start, mind your tone and volume. Breathe deeply before you begin to speak. This helps relax your nerves. If you tend to talk too fast, consciously slow down. Take a breath at natural pauses in a sentence. This gives everyone a moment to process what you said. Even a slight smile can warm up your tone. Imagine you're telling a fun story around a campfire. You'd probably speak a bit louder and more animatedly. Bringing some of that energy into daily conversations can make your words more engaging and easier to follow. Posture and eye contact affect how you come across too. Stand or sit up straight when you speak. This makes your voice project better and makes you look confident. If you slouch or look down, people might think you're unsure. Try making eye contact as you talk. You don't have to stare, but keep your gaze mostly on the person you're talking to. It shows that you care about them and what you're saying. If you feel nervous, imagine you're telling something important to a friend. That can help steady your voice. Avoid filler words like like, or, you know. Everyone uses them sometimes, but too many can weaken your message. It's okay to pause for a second instead of filling the gap. Pausing can make you sound thoughtful. You can practice by talking a bit more slowly and paying attention to when you naturally say fillers. Practicing speaking out loud can build confidence. A great way is to talk when no one is listening, like explaining your day to yourself in the mirror or reading a story aloud. You can even record yourself on your phone and listen. You'll notice things like speaking too quietly or too fast. Then practice fixing them. You could also prepare what you want to say in advance. If you know you'll present in class, outline your main points and rehearse them. Being prepared makes you more confident when it's go time. Remember, confidence grows each time you speak up. It might feel a bit strange at first, but with each conversation, you'll feel stronger. Encourage yourself with positive thoughts. Instead of, they will laugh at me, think, I have something interesting to say. Over time, this positive mindset will help your voice be heard. You can also be assertive in a respectful way. If you want something, express it directly but kindly. Use I statements. For example, say, I think we should, instead of demanding, you should. For instance, you might say, I think we should try a different plan, rather than, you must do it my way. This shows you value your ideas while still respecting others. It often makes them more willing to listen. Your voice is powerful. Stand tall, breathe steadily, and speak clearly. Even if you're nervous, remember many people feel that way. With each word you say, your confidence will grow. People will start to listen and give weight to your ideas. The world needs to hear your perspective, so don't be afraid to share it. Chapter 6. Ask questions and show respect. A powerful way to communicate is by asking good questions and showing respect. Curiosity shows interest. When you ask questions, it tells people you care about their thoughts. Questions also help clear up confusion and keep the conversation going. When someone says something that interests you or isn't clear, ask a follow-up question. For example, if a friend says, I'm stressed about the game tomorrow, you could ask, what part of the game is worrying you? Or, do you want to talk about it? These questions encourage them to share more details and show that you really want to understand. Be respectful in your words and actions. Respect means letting others speak without interrupting and listening with an open mind. If someone is talking, give them your full attention and don't check your phone. Use polite words like, please, thank you, and excuse me. These small gestures create a friendly atmosphere. When you disagree with someone, do it gently. Instead of saying, no, you're wrong, try saying something like, I see it differently because, or I hadn't thought of it that way. This way, the other person doesn't feel attacked. For instance, you might say, "I understand your point, and here's another idea." This keeps the conversation calm and productive. Showing respect also means acknowledging others. If a classmate is shy, you could say, "Do you want to share your thoughts?" Or, "What do you think about this idea?" This invites them into the conversation. Even in writing or texting, you can show respect by being clear and polite. For example, writing, "Congratulations on your win," with an exclamation shows enthusiasm. Avoid typing in all caps, it feels like shouting. In group conversations, simple actions show respect. Don't talk over someone, give nods when you listen, and wait for a person to finish before speaking. When someone finishes explaining, you can say, "Thanks for sharing, that's helpful." Each of these shows you value the other person's contribution. In summary, ask questions to show you care, and always be polite and considerate. Respect is the soil where good communication grows. Questions keep the dialogue flowing, and respect makes it healthy. Together, they help everyone feel comfortable and heard. Conclusion. Putting it all together. We've explored 6 key pillars of communication: listening with intent, using open body language, practicing empathy, speaking clearly, finding confidence in your voice, and asking questions with respect. Each of these skills can transform the way you connect with others. Think of communication like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Try practicing these skills a little each day. When talking with friends, resist the urge to interrupt and truly listen. When you stand up for yourself, remember your posture and tone. If something isn't clear, pause and ask or clarify. With each step, you'll notice conversations becoming more positive and meaningful. Believe in yourself and care about others. Good communication is a two-way street of kindness and understanding. As you practice, you'll see conflicts get resolved easier, teamwork improve, and your relationships deepen. People will appreciate how you make them feel heard and respected. Your thoughts and ideas matter. Sharing them clearly and kindly can help you achieve your goals and build stronger friendships. So keep practicing these communication tips every day. Before long, speaking up, listening well, and showing empathy will become second nature. The journey to better communication starts right now. You have the power to make every conversation better. With practice and an open heart, you'll notice just how positive and motivating your words can be. Keep communicating, keep learning, and watch the good things that follow.